welcome to Robbinsdale Middle School, the old Robbinsdale High School, site of the Robbinsdale Rumble. High school wrestling match here tonight. District 281 rivals Armstrong and Cooper hit the mat once again. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with John Lauritsen, and John, always a fun time over here at the Rumble. Armstrong has kind of had the upper hand the last few years. Cooper hoping to try and break that trend a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, this is always fun to cover. We've covered this for, a few years now together, and I think tonight the key will be obviously Cooper getting off to a fast start, because as we were talking about just before this, Armstrong is pretty strong in those upper weights with Eddie Gonzalez and Zach Riggs, so a hot start for Cooper could maybe set the tone for them. Armstrong will want to recoup those points if they get behind a little later on in the match, obviously.
Cooper has brought back Tim Hansen as their head coach now, and he's got a lot of Hawks alums in his assistant ranks along with his dad, Randy, kind of bringing things back. And I know he always liked this rivalry and want to get after it. They've got a young group, and it's been a tough year for them, no doubt. But, I think this is the kind of night that can spark some interest for their program, too.
Yeah, back to the drawing board a little bit for the coaching staff, but, having a familiar face and a voice there is not a bad thing for a program like this. And this kind of match, too, and the teams really aren't too separate from each other, and there's not a lot of distance between the two. You can see some interesting matches tonight. Even if you're not the favorite, a rivalry like this, it doesn't matter in a night like this.
Armstrong coming in with 4 wins on the season. They do have some quality guys, as John mentioned, with Zach Rigg, Eddie Gonzalez, and a few others. So they've got some guys that, even if their team maybe isn't going to be strong enough to think about state tournament-wise, they definitely have some guys that individually should have decent shots to get there.
Well, you said it, because we're only about a month and a half now away from the state tournament, if you can imagine that, the winter sports season flying by. Yeah, Rigg and Gonzalez both ranked in the top 6 at their respective weight classes at state. So, you're wrestling for your team first and foremost, but as we get closer to tournament time, individually you want to start to see how you match up against some of your rivals here.
And when it comes to regular season matches, too, around school or friends or neighbors, this is the one that they ask about. Well, okay, but did you beat Cooper or did you beat Armstrong?
Yeah. I'm not going to compare this to the Vikings and Packers, but at this level, it's kind of like that kind of rivalry. You want to beat your rival, even if you're not having the best year, to go home at the end of the day and say, hey, we beat Armstrong, or hey, we beat Cooper. That's a feather in your cap right there.
All right, the Robbinsdale Rumble gets started in just a moment here. Thanks for watching high school wrestling on 12 Sports.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back here to Robbinsdale Middle School as the team's being introduced to the crowd right here, and it's kind of a little bit of pressure, I think, on some of the guys, especially when you're inexperienced. I'm sure you walk around and it's a bigger crowd, they're right closer to you, but it's a good thing too, because it really makes everybody hyped up about it and excited to be out here and try and do their best.
I really like how they do this, because I think both these teams probably circle this date on their calendar and know that it's kind of both a home and away meet, or a match, I should say. And you could do the thing where you go Armstrong one year at Armstrong High School or Cooper the next year at Cooper High School, but they do it in a neutral site at a place that really for wrestling was big. I mean, 30 years ago, Robbinsdale was always near the top of the state when it comes to wrestling.
There's Bill McCloskey, the Falcons head coach. And, you know, his team certainly coming into as the favorite this season. And they've had the tide rolling their way in recent years. But we talked about Tim Hansen returning to the fold at Cooper. He had taken some time away to, I think, mainly because of job and family things where you just, you know, was being stretched too thin and you know, tried to step away a little bit, and then just the timing where it happened where he wanted to get back into coaching and they had an opening. Eric Rognes moved on to take another coaching job. So he said, you know, that's kind of where my heart was back at Cooper. And he said brought back a lot of guys who wrestled for him too to be part of their staff. So they've got some young guys who, you know, young and enthusiastic, but also guys who can get in there and give some good reps to the guys too by getting on the mat themselves.
Well, like you said, he left for a few years, but coaching, you know, stays in your blood, I think, and he just couldn't stay away from the sport, so he came back. It is a big deal, I think, for a head coach to have people he's familiar with that have already bought into his philosophy and how he wants to coach a wrestling team. So when he has that familiarity with him, it makes a big difference, and it's good for a young program like that to have that knowledge and experience working with them on a day-to-day basis.
We had a little bit of youth wrestling going on out here, and obviously that's where it has to start for both of these programs, and it's been, you know, kind of hit and miss in the area. I mean, obviously, as we've talked about before, numbers are an issue really for a lot of the wrestling programs around our area nowadays, not just these two, but you know, that's where it has to get started. Get some guys interested early and kind of get going from there.
Definitely, you said it. It's a feeder programs, and every good wrestling program knows that's where you build. It's like that with any sport, though. Football, basketball, baseball, wrestling. You got to start these kids at an age when they're receptive to it, most importantly, but that they buy into it, have fun with it, maybe the most important thing of all, and just take it from there. And then they get to this level.
We go to 106 to start it out. It is Jalen Young for Armstrong, Terrell Barnes for Cooper, and we get underway here. Barnes, a freshman, a 1-1 varsity record.
And Young, the 8th grader, in on a single leg here as Barnes sprawls out. A little bit of an underhook. Barnes trying to come around him now. Almost went off the edge of the mat. Now back to center. They lock up once again.
Jalen Young wrestled at Plymouth Middle School, first year on the varsity, and his older brother will be in their lineup a few weights ahead here, James.
Minute 15 to go in the first. Kind of locked up right in the middle of the mat. Young kind of muscles him over. Now he's got a headlock on Barnes. Got him in trouble here a little bit. No back points yet. You can see the ref, he hasn't quite broken that plane. He's got to really lean in. There's some back points now. He's got Barnes just tilted enough for the headlock, close to having him pinned. Young really has that locked up. 45 seconds to go in the first period. He's got a lot of time to try and work for that pin. Really trying to lean into it. He's got him pretty tight, Jay.
Squeezing that arm to the head, and it's just a matter of adjusting enough right now. Barnes trying to fight it off.
Well, Barnes gets an A for fighting it off so far, but he's still got 25 seconds to go. Young just can't quite lean back enough to get that left shoulder blade down. He's close. You can see it right there. Very close. 15 seconds left for Terrell Barnes here to try and get out of this, make it to the second period. Oh, that's very close to being a pin. Oh, and he rolls through. He's not going to get any points, though.
Score 3 near fall for Jalen Young. However, Barnes survives the period. It didn't look like he might for a while. 5-0 lead for Young here after 1.
And Barnes, you saw at the end there, Jay rolled through. Came out on top, didn't get any points as time ran out, but if he'd tried that maybe a little bit earlier, who knows if he would have gotten at least a reversal out of that. Young will start down for Armstrong here to start the second, leading 5-0. Sits out, trying to turn into Barnes. He's going to get an escape, possibly. I think he's got a shot at reversal here. Barnes has lost control, it looks like. But at least an escape, maybe two, though. It is, he's going to give him a reversal here. It'll be 7-0. Now he's got him kind of a crossface. Barnes trying to fight that off now. It's a reversal. Young still sticking with it, trying to crossface him over. Sticking his head right in the side of Barnes there for a second. As he's trying to work for a cradle, looked like for a second. Barnes able to fight him off for now. Trying to get off the mat, trying to get away from Young.
Young has come out and pretty well dominated this one. Maybe a little bit of a surprise. He hasn't had a ton of success on the varsity level this year, but Armstrong looking to get off to a good start. We were kind of led to believe that Cooper probably was going to, somewhat have their way in the first few weights, but not looking like it so far. No,
yeah, you're right. Jalen Young came out here with the plan, and that 5-point move, the headlock he had in the first period, now a quick reversal. And a commanding 7-0 lead. He's a point away from a major decision, but a lot of time left in this match. 55 seconds left in the second.
Got a caution there for lining up incorrectly against Barnes, and the official, I happened to just be talking with Bill McCloskey, and he said, we're getting towards section time, so I'm gonna be a stickler in terms of lining up.
Barnes rolled through there. Young stuck with him. Not a bad attempt, though. Barnes trying to stand up now, trying to peel those hands if he can. And he's going to possibly come around again. Young trying to headlock him. He's got to be careful with that headlock, though. Now he's got an arm in there, but initially he didn't. And I don't think the ref was kind of mentioning that. They're going to go off the mat. No points.
And Young looks like he might be shaken up a little bit, even though he seemed to be getting the better of things.
You see Barnes trying to stand there. He just tries a roll. What he didn't do was grab the hand or wrist of Young. That might have made a difference there. He could end up on top. Just try to roll. Almost worked, though. We're back in action. Barnes trying to stand up. Again, trying to peel those hands. Young throws on a leg here.
Clasping call coming.
Clasping against the 8th grader. Young from Armstrong. He'll lose a point there, 7-1. A little bit of an inexperienced move there by him. You got to have a wrist of your opponent when you get your hands close together like that. You can't just use both your hands and lock them together when you're in the down position or in control.
Some question as to, looks they've put 2 points up on the board.
It should be 1, unless there was a stalling call or warning. You got a caution. They did put 2. I know there was a clasping call, and I don't know where the other point came from. Regardless, the second period will end 7-2 right now anyway. Jalen Young of Armstrong still with a commanding lead. Let's see what he does here, what Barnes does to stay. Looks like he's going to choose down. I think the ref's going to fix this score, though. It should be 7-1, I believe. We're going to find out in a second. They're having a discussion there at the scorer's table. Well, there's a mystery point out there, Jay, that we just don't know about.
Yeah, I thought I saw that he signaled a class for one, but then something more, possibly a technical violation after that. Or maybe he didn't break the class and did it, a second time. Possibility there. It did look like he did indicate 1+1.
Young sits out, trying to get an escape. Barnes brings him right down to his back. That'll be back points for sure. Close to having Young pinned. Young trying to bridge out of this. Oh, he got him.
Big turnaround as Barnes ends up getting the pin. after Young had been dominating the match early on, and Barnes saw an opportunity and he took advantage of it right there.
You can see Young, he tried to sit out there and kind of got in a bad position. Barnes just basically wraps his arms around him and trips him right to his back. A little bit stronger than Young too. He's kind of really just working on him there and getting his weight on him. And there's the pin. A reversal of fortunes in every possible way right there for Cooper.
We go to 113, Gunnar Johansson for Armstrong, Wilson Fletcher for Cooper. Gunnar is a sophomore. Second year on the varsity. He did win his match at the Rumble a year ago. And Fletcher, a freshman, has gone 4-4 this year.
Well, Hansen comes out here looking fired up. He's moving around a lot of energy. 30 seconds into the first period. They're just tied up here in the middle of the mat. Johansson tries to shuck him down, then Fletcher goes to a single leg and gets the takedown, 2-0. And we talked about this, Jay, before the match began, that Cooper needs to get off to a hot start. We know Armstrong's pretty solid in the upper weights, so a comeback win by Terrell Barnes, getting that pin, that's 16 points for them. And now Fletcher with an early takedown over Johansson, who's trying to kind of sit down on him. Fletcher with an arm bar on Johansson, trying to lock up a double arm bar.
He's been busy on top. It looks like he has a plan. He's not just trying to ride him.
And he's got it locked up pretty good. He's gonna, if he can hang on to that, he's gonna get some back points here. Oh, he's got Johansson in big trouble, actually. It breaks through, but that should be at least 2. Yep, it is. 2 near fall for Fletcher. He goes right back to another half Nelson this time. Again has Johansson in trouble. Johansson trying to bridge out of that, and he can't do it. A pin for Wilson Fletcher of Cooper, another 16 points. They go up 12-0.
So the Hawks getting off to a good start here.
Well, he tried the double arm bar and then got some back points there. That broke, and then he goes back to the half, and there it is. He's got him locked up pretty tight. Boom. Both shoulder blades are flat. That's a pin for Cooper.
Al Bangura for Cooper, and Damon Barley for Armstrong here at 120 pounds. Bangura 6-6 record this year, and Coach Hansen said he'll come out and give you an effort, no doubt about it. Barley, first-year varsity wrestler, also wrestled at Plymouth Middle School, and he's taken down here by Bangura.
Yeah, Barley was in on a single, was making progress with it, but Bangura denied him, gets the takedown himself. Barley looked like he was trying to set him up for a roll, didn't work. Bangura goes to a half. He's got to get off to the side if he's going to use that. He's got Barley flat on the mat right now. And hopping around, he's going to let him go. Be an escape for Barley.
2-1 lead now for Bangura.
Bangura, Jay, might be a little more comfortable on his feet. Oh, he's going to try like a little bit of a lateral drop there, kind of eased into it. He's got Barley in trouble. This could be the 3rd consecutive pin possibly for Cooper to start out. Bangura's got him in a bunch of trouble here. He's very close to being pinned. Barley trying to bridge. Bangura's trying to lock that up. Trying to flatten out the shoulder blades.
Trying to get to the edge of the mat here is Barley, but
you can see Bangura's trying to put his chin right in his shoulder to flatten him out. So far, good job by Barley fighting this off. He's got to fight it off for another 15 seconds. Bangura's perpendicular like he should be. He's got that half on. They want to see him do a reverse half. His coaches do, to try and flatten him out more. Not quite able to do it.
He's going to survive the round. So a great first round for Bangura, but not quite able to finish him. He'll take a 7-1 lead.
Looks like Barley's going to defer. Bangura is going to, I would be surprised if he's going to pick both up the neutral position. He's got 2 takedowns on Barley already. He seems more comfortable on his feet. Barley tries a shot there. Bangura flattens out on him a little bit.
Barley, besides being into wrestling, their coaches say he's into mountain biking quite heavily too. That's got to be good for your legs.
Good endurance, good for your legs for wrestling, definitely.
But right now, Bangura has been in control of this one.
Yeah, and right here, Bangura just tries to underhook him. Put him on his back, didn't quite work. Tries a little bit of a duck under there, but nothing doing. Barley takes a little bit of a shot with the right leg of Bangura. Bangura doing a nice job of flattening him out though. They're controlling that right ankle. Barley still got his hands locked on that leg, so no takedown yet. Oh, Bangura gets a little bit high here. Barley not quite able to finish on that or capitalize. Bangura just trying to kind of muscle him down to the mat. Barley just hanging on to that leg. Yeah, a good call by the referee there because nothing was really happening. So he calls a stalemate. They'll start on Manu here.
Give Barley some credit. It didn't look like he would still be in the match at this point even, and he's fighting back here a little bit. But still, Bangura has been in control.
He takes another shot there. Bangura just has to come around the back. He's going to have a takedown. He's got it, 9-1. So he's trying for a cradle. Barley took a shot there, a single leg, but his head was to the outside, and that just not quite the right technique. Bangura's got a cradle locked up, but he almost puts himself on his back. Bangura's got him in trouble. If he gets that knee on the side, he could really have Barley in a lot of trouble there, but he's going to get 3 near fall nonetheless.
And an escape for Barley. They get 12-2.
Bangura again trying to come around. He should get 2 right before the end of the half, or end of the period there. Let's see if they counted that.
I think it should.
I didn't see the clock. It was close. If he gets that takedown, I think that would make it 14-2. I think the ref's checking on that. There's a cradle, but you see, Bangura almost got himself in trouble. He's lucky he had that arm locked up. If that arm comes free, then Barley can use that as a post as he's trying to cradle him over and kind of catch him on his back.
Some questioning.
No points?
No takedown. Okay. Going to stay at 12-2.
We'll see how that comes into play in the third period here. Barley he's going to pick the opposition. You don't see that very often. He figures he's been taken down a few times, and when he's been down, he has not been able to get away, so he might as well try the opposition, or maybe use a pinning combination that he likes to use. See if Bangura gets up and out right away. 12-2, he leads as we start the third, 120-pound weight class at a caution.
Yeah, and I was starting to talk about that earlier, John. The official said, you know, we're going to be calling things tight on restarts, because at section time, they're not going to give you leeway if you're not lined up right or you don't, you know. He said, just let your guys know that we're going to be starting to call this tighter like we would be in the postseason right now. And you hate to see kids get caught off guard by that in section time. So a good job by the official.
I think it is too. Yeah, I think it's smart. You got to get them conditioned to line up the right way. Now, Barley throwing on a leg. I don't know if this was part of the plan or if he got kind of caught in that position. And regardless, he gives up a reversal.
And he's in some trouble again.
Yeah, and it looks like 2 more near fall. So we're going to have 16-2, which puts us on the brink of a technical fall.
So now he's got to finish him with a pin if he turns him again. Otherwise, it'll be 5 team points rather than 6. Not that 5 is any thing to be down about, but it looked like earlier he was definitely going to get a pin.
Well, I think Cooper would take it, but yeah, I mean, when you're at this point, he wants to try for a pin here because he's had Barley on his back a couple different times. He's been close. Pretty soon, though, I think the Cooper coaches need to make a call. You just kind of let him go and take him down a couple more times if you can to get that technical fall. There's a half he's trying for. He's in position to get it. Barley, though, peels that hand off. Barley's got a problem with his headgear over his eyes right now.
Under 25, yeah, now Cooper telling him cut him loose. And now the headgear problem. He might have waited just a little bit too long, though, because right now we're at an 11-point margin, so he's going to need to do, either take him down and get near fall or take him down a couple times here, and the time might be against him right now.
I think it is. I think he's got to go, if he wants to get that technical fall, take him down to his back. But you got to be safe about it. You don't want to do something that gets you in trouble here in these last 17 seconds. You give up a 5-point move yourself, and I was going to say there goes the major, but you would still have the major decision. That's 16-3.
Coach Hansen right now kind of, cluing him in, making sure he knows what exactly we're looking for point-wise here.
Well, a takedown would be exactly what they need for a tech fall, giving you 5 team points and putting Cooper up then 17-0 through 3 weight classes. I guess I would take that. If somebody told you you're going to be up 17-0 to start a dual meet against your biggest rival in the Robbinsdale Rumble, I would take it. Well, on the flip side of it, if Barley can keep a takedown from happening here in the final 10 seconds, he'll still have a team point. So far, so good. A duck under there, though, by
and he gets 2.
Bangor. He's got the 2. That should be it. Yep, that's a tech fall.
It looked like he was going to run out of time there, but it didn't happen that way.
Bangor does like a little duck under here. It's going to go right under the shoulder. Comes around, beautiful move. The ref kind of lets him finish it off. He came around, I think, even though that was a tech fall, the match could have stopped. He wanted to see if he had a shot to turn him. Regardless, it's a tech fall for Bangura, and it's 17-0 now, Cooper, through 3 weight classes.
James Young for Armstrong and Ben Smith for Cooper. Ben, one of the top guns for the Hawks. He's a captain. He won the Zimmerman tournament last week and was 4th in sections last year, and hasn't wrestled a ton this year, but 6-0. And James Young, 2nd-year varsity wrestler, and really hard worker according to their coaches, and he'll do everything you ask, and football player for them as well. Smith probably considered the favorite here, but Young not a pushover.
Smith, one of the Hawks captains, he's a senior, 4th in the section, as you mentioned last year, Jay, so he's probably got his eyes on state this year. A lot of activity so far, a minute into the first period. Both guys locked up. Smith from Cooper, Young from Armstrong. Nobody really taking a shot yet either. Changing levels a little bit there. Smith tries for a single leg. Now Young tries to get a single leg on him. And they just tie up smack dab in the middle of the mat here. Kind of an underhook Smith has on Young there. Smith trying to kind of plow into him. Underhook. And they face each other once again. 20 seconds to go in the first. Young trying to grab at Smith's leg. Smith fights that off. Now Smith tries to kind of go on his leg. Oh, Young throws him to his back, but they go off. Nothing doing there. Kind of an exciting little turn there, but it was off the edge of the mat, so no points for anybody. And we're going to end this first period scoreless.
Smith will defer his choice. Young, I think, is going to choose down.
Young wants to go up and out here, try and get an escape. An escape gives you the lead early. Another caution here by the ref. Well, we talked about we don't really mind him doing this. It's better for the wrestlers to know how they need to line up as we get closer and closer to tournament time. Young trying to spin out of there. Smith staying behind him. Smith up on a half. Young tries to stand up. Smith brings him back down the mat. Smith throws on a leg. Trying to kind of cross-face him over. He's got a leg in there. Smith has Young flattened out pretty good. And kind of looks like he's trying to maybe work in a little bit of a cross-face, possibly a cradle. Young trying to get back to his base. And Smith kind of just lets him go. That'll be 1-0 Young. First point of the match. Comes nearly 3 minutes into it. In the first period, Jay, we didn't see really either wrestler take a shot. There, Smith tries for a double leg. Young wizards him off the mat right in front of us. One of only a couple of shots we've seen taken so far in this match tonight.
Yeah, it's been a cautious one so far. Neither guy seems really sure of what's there and what to really attack at this point.
You can hear the coaches almost on both sides yelling circle and try, set up a shot here. Young tries a little bit of a duck under, nothing happens. I think as a coach, you want to see your wrestler kind of circle and circle and circle and try for, if it's a single leg you want, try for a sweeping single, get him moving in one direction, then shoot at the other. There's 15 seconds to go in the second. Our first low-scoring match of the night so far, Jay.
Yeah, we're going to, looks like we'll come close to the end or probably end this period with just that escape being the only point. Smith shooting, but not going to have time to accomplish that.
Tried a low single there, nothing doing. Smith will take down. He just needs an escape to tie this up. Young looks like he hurt his wrist or hand that period. Kind of shaking that off. Smith will start down, trailing 1-0. Cooper has won the first 3 weights here in the Rumble. Off to a hot start. James Young trying to get them on the scoreboard, get Armstrong on the scoreboard. Yeah, Smith stands up. He's got an escape 5 seconds into the second to tie it up, 1-1. Wants to go upper body, trying for a lateral drop. He has Young on his back. He got it. That's at least a 5-point move. Young in trouble. Smith trying for that pin. He's been eyeing that up since the match started, and he got it right there. Young trying to squirm out of that. Smith really trying to keep his body on him, and boy, props to Young for getting out of that, but a 5-point move puts Ben Smith and Cooper up 6-1 now.
There's the flurry of activity that we thought we might see in this one.
I spoke too soon on that. And I was thinking for James Young, that'd be tough for him to get pinned in that situation. He's actually wrestled a pretty good match here. A minute to go in the third, though. He needs to move if he wants to get back in this thing. Smith maintaining control. You can see him trying to sneak in an arm bar. Trying to keep Young flat. Now there's that arm bar. He's got to sit through that, walk around the head of Young to break that plane to get back points. Hasn't done it yet. You can see Young perpendicular pretty much to the mat right there. So no points. Smith still has the arm bar locked up. If he were able to get 3 near fall, that would be another major decision. 14 points then for Cooper. Young really doing a good job of fighting that off so far. Smith kind of walking that on both sides, trying to figure out if he can turn James Young in that arm bar. He's got him locked up there. It's, if you want to call it an arm bar, he's got Young in trouble.
Oh,
that's going to be a major decision.
Great effort, though, by Young to keep fighting. It looked like there was a chance he was going to get pinned again. Smith will get the win, though, by major decision as he has a strong third period and wins it 9-1. And so Cooper will take the first 4 matches of the night to go up 21-zip.
Ben Smith had been trying for kind of a lateral drop there since the beginning of the first period. Just wanted to lock up James Young. There's your 5 points. He just got an escape. He scored 9 points in the third period. He was down 1-0 going into it. Almost got a pin. And then he does an arm bar here that he'd been really working on. Kind of almost tilts him over in that arm bar and almost pins him in this position. Good little move right there. Gets 3 near full. You can see how close he was to getting a pin. Doesn't get it, but nonetheless, another 14 points for Cooper. Oh, they got it.
Lucas Miernicki for Armstrong and Rich Lee for Cooper, and Lee quickly out with a takedown. Lee, one of the tougher guys for the Hawks. He's aggressive, 5-4 record this year. Miernicki, first year full-time varsity wrestler, good student and hard worker, but he's up against a tough opponent here. He's got 1 varsity win this year. Lee trying to keep the tide rolling in the Hawks' favor.
Well, the Hawks have come out firing in the first 4 weights. Rich Lee with a very quick takedown this match. Miernicki trying to, this is the second time they've done this now where Miernicki stands up and Lee just kind of runs him off the mat. We'll start again in the center. Another caution. I think pretty much every match we've seen tonight there's been a caution. Miernicki again to his feet. This time he gets the escape. 2-1 now, Lee of Cooper. Miernicki tries for a single. His head is to the outside here, putting himself in kind of a bad position. Lee does a nice job at cross-facing. He'll come around for 2 to make it 4-1. Now he's trying to cross-face Miernicki. He's got it locked up. Miernicki, kind of a long kid. He's trying to post himself and keep him going to his back, but Lee has him in trouble, trying to switch to kind of reverse half here. He's got back points. He's got time, 45 seconds. Lee's got him in trouble. Miernicki trying to fight it off. He's got him close to being pinned. Got him in trouble. Miernicki just hanging on so far.
Boy, it's close.
There it is, though.
There it is.
Pin for Rich Lee. Cooper continues to roll.
Cooper coming out very strong as we anticipated. So a 27-0 lead here for the Hawks. It's funny because even though you sort of hear this might be coming in the early weights, it's still like, wow, the Hawks have really dominated.
And they really have, and you can see Rich Lee there with that pin. That started as kind of a crossface, and it switched to a couple different things before Rich Lee gets the pin for Cooper. Miernicki, you got to give him credit. He tried hard to fight that off, but he had a lot of time to be on his back there.
Trevor Karsten for Cooper and Kevin Trin for Armstrong. Trin is one of the captains, and he's a weightlifter as well. He's applying to Ivy League schools, and he wants to go to Cornell. That's saying a lot.
That's setting your sights pretty high. Good for him if he can make that happen. Nice single leg. Oh, he wasn't able to finish it.
Trin is 10-8 so far this year. Karsten 3-2.
Trin does look like a strong wrestler out there. Coming out with a lot of energy. There's Trin again on a single leg. Yeah, you can see what happened. It's just like football. He had one foot in bounds, the other out. You got to keep both feet in bounds if you get a takedown like that.
Trin, it was an excellent move. He just ran out of space, and I'm sure he'll come back to that.
And on the legs again at Carson. This time he keeps his feet in bounds. He'll get two. They go off. But that time Trin able to finish, keep both feet in bounds on that double leg. Leading now 2-0 over Trevor Karsten of Cooper. Armstrong needs a win. Down 27-0.
I heard a couple of teammates too saying we need 6 out of you, Kevin, before it even started. So they kind of know the deal too. I mean, they know the other team a little bit and who has the advantage where.
Well, Trin trying to lock up a country boy here. He's got it. Karsten in trouble. And there's your first 6 of the night for Armstrong. They're on the board.
Boy, the noise from the people in red all of a sudden rose here across the way of most of the Armstrong folks over there. And they get to make a lot of noise for really the first time tonight. And they're pumped up as Kevin Trin gets the pin for the Falcons, their first win of the night. They now trail 27-6. Again, not unexpected the way things that we've seen. That Cooper probably was going to get off to a good start, and then Armstrong hopes to make some hay here in these next few weights and beyond. Yeah, that move in some circles is called a country boy, and a very impressive match by Kevin Trin to get his team on the board finally. 27-6, Armstrong trails. They'll get a forfeit here. Zach Thorne of Armstrong gets his hand raised. No opponent. Cooper with an open weight there. So the Falcons win at 145 via forfeit. Miguel Gonzalez for Armstrong and Matthew Lohr for Cooper in our 152-pound matchup. Yeah, and just like that, Jay, 27-12 now, Cooper. Gonzalez in on a double leg, or single leg rather. Trying to switch to a double. He should get a takedown there. Miguel's got 6 wins on the varsity this year. Matthew looking for his first, so probably one that Armstrong thinks they have a reasonably good shot to go after here. Miguel, first time at weighing in at 45, or generally been right in that 45, 52. They had 3 brothers in their family wrestle for Armstrong, so always nice to see that when you can get more than one from a family in there. I'm sure they're competitive with each other too, like brothers are. It makes them all better. Gonzalez trying to just work Lohr down on the mat. He's got a half on, and he's going to probably kind of be able to muscle in here. He's getting back points, close to having a pin. He got it. Another pin for Armstrong. They're right back in this dual meet, 27-18 now. Miguel Gonzalez with the fall for the Falcons. A basic half Nelson. Throws it on. Lohr trying to fight it off there a little bit, but Gonzalez just kind of muscling him over. And once he got into that point, there was no question. A pin for Armstrong. Suddenly it's 27-18. Chris Vargas for Cooper. Hassan Sadiq for Armstrong. Sadiq. Oh, try to double leg. We're going to go off the mat. You heard a thump on that one. He's a very athletic guy, also a rugby player, and he's coming out like a house of fire here. Quick takedown, tries a chin drop there. Sadiq looks like a linebacker out there, just driving into Chris Vargas. Quick takedown. Tried 2 different moves to get him on his back. So far, nothing doing.
Vargas, a senior for Cooper, trying to stop a run here. 3 straight wins for Armstrong. Vargas tries to sit out. Sadiq.
Not only 3 straight wins, but maximum point wins, 2 pins and a forfeit, so they quickly get back in it.
And some of their better wrestlers are coming up tonight, too. So not as bad as it initially looked for the Falcons. Oh, he's going to try and stack up Vargas. He's got him in trouble. Vargas trying to...
Potentially dangerous there on the neck.
That's 3 near fall he'll get, though, Sadiq did. Now, Sadiq has tried 3 different pinning combinations here in the first 45 seconds of the match. This is just kind of like he's got a 2-on-1 ride. He just tries to stack him up, basically. Had him almost pinned there for a second.
Boy, that was close.
And he tries the chin drop again. He tried that a little bit earlier.
Halfway through the period now.
Yeah, Sadiq in good position here, 5-0. Riding Vargas tough. Had him flattened out there for a second. Vargas not able to do a lot. Sadiq in on an arm bar now. He's got 40 seconds to try and make this work. He's going to drive forward. He's a strong kid, too. Now he's got him on his back. Vargas trying to fight that off. Sadiq doesn't have it tightened up quite that well. He's going to get some back points.
I think a good job to let it go there. You're right. He was in danger of slipping off. He didn't have a very good grip.
Trying again to tilt Vargas over. Not really a move here. He's just trying to kind of muscle him over.
Hip him over, I think, yeah. He'll get his 3 there, and the period ends, so it's 8-0 Sadiq. And we will head to the 3rd. Again, this is a situation, though, Vargas, you give him a little credit for hanging in.
Now Sadiq will start down to begin the 2nd. Explosive wrestler there in the first period. He really went at Chris Vargas before I think Vargas even knew it hit him. Builds an 8-0 lead. He's up. Nice job by Vargas maintaining control. Sadiq trying to get up. And they go off. Vargas tried that near arm far ankle, tried to hang on. Under caution here tonight. There's a rectangle there. You got to have your knees on one side and your hands or palms on the other. You can't be in the middle ground. A lot of wrestlers are getting called on that tonight. No points given up, just the refs trying to instruct them on how to line up right. Vargas hung on for the first 15 seconds of the 2nd, but Sadiq gets the escape, 9-0. Sadiq's got a lot of his family here cheering for him. There's a takedown by Sadiq, and he goes to a half. I don't know what you call that, but it's almost working for Sadiq. 11-0. Trying to break the plane there on Vargas. Not able to do it, but now he's got a nice half Nelson locked up. Again has Vargas in trouble. Sadiq still in a good position here to try and get some back points. He's going to get 3 off that, make it 14-0. He's a point away from a tech fall for Armstrong. Vargas looks like he's losing his headgear pretty quick. Sadiq drives him back down to the mat. 35 seconds to go in the 2nd. 14-0 Sadiq. In full control here. And he's got that half, tries to switch back to that side. Vargas peels it off. Vargas trying to stand up. Sadiq brings him back down to the mat. 10 seconds to go in the 2nd.
Looks like he might survive the period here.
Sadiq looking to the sidelines. His coach is telling him a bunch of different things, but Time runs out in the second. Still 14-0 Osseo leading here.
Vargas now getting a chance to mess with that headgear. It was a problem for him late in the period, but never really a time to stop and get it. So obviously one more move or one takedown would give him 5. Osseo would rather get the fall, but he has dominated. He's shown a lot of different attempts at pinning moves here, pinning combinations.
Vargas will get a new headgear. He's having a hard time with the other one, so Coach Hansen throws him a new one. Maybe that'll be his lucky charm to get back in this match. We'll see. Down 14-0. And as you said, Jay, I mean, it's been pretty much complete control here for Osseo. He came out firing and has not let up one bit.
Sadiq was asking, should I let him up and then go from the feet again, but they said no.
Well, they're going to want him to try for a pin here for the first minute. And if he can get near fall, which he's done several times, and work for that pin, then they'll take the tech fall that way rather than that. He's got a half Nelson here once again on Vargas. Close to having that pin. He's really trying. Vargas doing his best to fight it off. Sadiq very close.
Trying to lift that head. One elbow still up a little bit to keep the shoulder off the mat.
Vargas really trying. I mean, you got to give him credit for fighting. He's got a long time on his back. Bridging now. Osseo is close. He got it.
Gets the fall, 454. And Armstrong's roll continues now as they have won the last 4 and are within 3 points now at 27-24.
Well, Hassan Osseo really earned that pin because he had Vargas on his back a few times, and Vargas did a good job of fighting him off, but you could tell he wasn't giving up that time. There you could see both shoulder blades flat. A much-deserved pin for Osseo.
Brandon Lundeen coming out for Armstrong. John Jansen for Cooper. Lundeen, third-year varsity guy. Jansen, a senior, one of the leaders for this Hawks team as well. Lundeen has won 10 matches this season. So this is one that could be an interesting one. I don't know if there's a clear favorite either way here. It's gotten pretty loud and intense here, John.
It has. 27-0 for Cooper at one point, now 27-24. For a while we were hearing chants of Lundeen, and then you heard chants for Jansen, and it's gone back and forth. It's a good rivalry.
Well, and we talked about it before, too. Not that it wouldn't be exciting in Cooper's gym or Armstrong's, but there's no doubt the intimate feel of this gym. I mean, it's pretty packed because it's not that big, and everybody's right there. You can hear every voice. It makes it a lot more exciting, I think, having it here.
I think it does. Very nostalgic, too, you know. And
well, and it is. It is a nod to the great tradition in the Robbinsdale School District, and obviously the old Robbinsdale High School as well, with the 50 state champions they had here. It was a great wrestling area, and maybe they're hoping, can be again.
The thing that I like that they've done here is what they really haven't done, and this looks like it did 30 years ago, probably. For the most part, the gym is pretty well preserved, and
different bleachers.
I noticed that much, yes, but a lot of the rest of it is still the same, and that's fun to see. Well, pivotal match here for Cooper if they want to try and keep their lead. John Jansen, the senior, against Brandon Lundeen of Armstrong. Cooper trying to stop the bleeding here a little bit after leading 27-0. Armstrong has gone on a tear. And we'll have a scoreless first period between Lundeen and Jansen. Lundin will begin the second period down for Armstrong. Jansen for Cooper will start up. Lundin up, trying to get to his feet right away. Got a clasping call there on Jansen. He locked up his wrist with no arm in between, or no hand of Lundin's in between, so 1-0 now Lundin. You can see the ref signal there, clasping. And they'll get a restart. Lundin turns to face. Jansen's still technically in control here. Yes, he is. And chops Lundin back down. Now he tries for a half. He had kind of an open half there for a second. Goes on a leg, too. See what he does with this. Got Lundin pretty flat.
I was gonna say, Jansen looks like a pretty good rider. He's been putting good pressure forward on him, flattening him out.
Sometimes that clasp is just a quick instinct mistake, too. And unfortunately, it costs you a point, but yeah, and that's right, Jay. Look, Jansen, I mean, it's early on here in this, I mean, midway through the second, but he's riding Lundin tough. You can tell he's comfortable in the up position here. Again, he's going to try and go to this half. He sticks his head right in the armpit of Lundin to try and drive him forward and maybe set up a half Nelson. It hasn't worked. He's tried that a couple times. Kind of trying to switch to an arm bar. Lundin just caught down here on his side, on kind of flat here on the mat, trying to work to his base. Jansen just maintaining control. Well, he clasped again, second time. He's going to give up another point. That's the second time he's done that. Lundin, without really doing anything, has a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it's interesting that he hasn't been able to get out. However, he's scored.
He's getting
not
points,
really
yes.
through anything that he's done. But
well,
Jansen,
that's one way to do it. Yeah.
But that's all part of it for Jansen, too. I mean, there's a quick escape and the 3-0 lead now. Jansen comes bowling in at him. I think he's feeling frustrated. But he did clasp. I mean, those are calls that are going to be made in any match you're in.
Yeah, it's a tough break, but it is the rule. And unfortunately, done it twice now. He's dug himself a little bit of a hole here. I imagine he'll start down. Yes, he does. Signals are right away here to start the third. And if you're Lundin, you just wrestle smart here in the third period. Don't give up any tough points, and you can probably win this match. Any easy points, I meant to say. Lundin gets a little high, though. A little bit high. Trying to turn Jansen, kind of trying to throw on the legs here, but he is a little bit high. Trying to scoot back on him. Jansen just trying to grab him and throw him over the top. Jansen trying to grab Lundin's head. If he grabs it, and Lundin knows it, he's got Lundin in a lot of trouble. The ref is going to watch to make sure this doesn't get potentially dangerous, though, but Jansen doing everything he's supposed to do, trying to grab that head or arm or something, because Lundin was up very high for a minute there.
Jansen's headgear now right across his eyes. Not helping his cause any. And now we get a stalling caution as he was just basically riding him on top without working for anything and not off to the side at all.
Yeah, Lundin got up there pretty high for a minute, and you can see Jansen just wildly trying to grab his head or arm to pull him over the top. Not quite able to do it.
I think Jansen kind of got the benefit of the doubt, too, because he grabbed the headgear briefly there. If he had tugged it a little harder or held it a little longer, he probably would have been called.
There again, Lundin gets a little high. Jansen tries to throw him over the top. Now Lundin lock in those legs, trying to tilt Jansen.
This is
to the
almost
ref.
exactly what we saw about 30 seconds ago.
It is, and Lundin
Lundin's got to be careful to put himself in a bad spot here, as his shoulders are nearly to the mat.
He does, but then at the same time, he's very close to getting back points here. Jansen just can't get out of that. That works to Lundin's benefit, though, just kind of killing time here, leading 3-0, 10 seconds to go. And he's going to ride this match out. 3 more points for Cooper, or for Armstrong, rather. That'll tie the dual meet now at 27.
So Lundin pulls one out, got a couple of clasping points, and able to hold on for a tight 3-0 win.
Not a lot of action in that match, but Lundin did just what he needed to do to win. And now we have a tie dual meet here in the Robbinsdale Rumble between two rivals. After Cooper built a big lead to start, we knew Armstrong, we talked about. Cooper was tough in the lower weights. Armstrong is pretty tough in the upper weights, but a rivalry dual meet, anything can happen.
Nathan Pone for Cooper, Eddie Gonzalez for Armstrong. Gonzalez, one of the top guns for the Falcons, as John said, ranked this year, 76 career wins, 4th-year wrestler. Won the Brainerd tournament and a returning state entrant, ranked number 6.
And Pone tried a little bit of a headlock there early on to see what he had. Gonzalez bowls over Pone. He's got him in a near cradle right away here. Got him in big trouble. That's a pin. 29 seconds for Eddie Gonzalez. Armstrong takes their first lead of the night.
Gonzalez comes out, takes care of business, and the Falcons surge into the lead.
Gonzalez sets up kind of a trip to a near cradle right there, locks it up, and then just takes Pone to his back. He's in big trouble right there, and there's the pin. 29 seconds, Freddie Gonzalez.
Ben Unger receives a forfeit for Armstrong at 195. So Armstrong goes up 39-27, so we move to 220, Zach Rigg for Armstrong.
Rigg on a double quickly.
DeAndre Porter for the Hawks. Sorry, John.
No problem.
Quick 2 for Rigg, who is a really good wrestler.
He's got Porter in trouble right away. 2 of Armstrong's better wrestlers in back-to-back matches with a forfeit in between for the Falcons. Rigg putting on display early here.
Rigg will get the 3-point near fall there. 5-year varsity wrestler, 94 career wins. And they say he'll get to be the 3rd winningest wrestler in Armstrong history, it looks like. He won the Brainerd tournament and was a state entrant a year ago and ranked in the top 10, as we said. So, and Rigg, obviously, this is not just 1 spot, but 2 spots up from where he will normally wrestle, or where he's, will weigh in at. So
it's kind of fun to see that. See a guy that coaches feel comfortable moving around in a couple different weights to get him where they want him with the best advantage. He lets go of Porter here to make it 4-2. Going around, there's another single. We're going to switch over to a double. He's going to take Porter right to his back. Porter squirms out of it, but a takedown for Rigg nonetheless. 6-2 he leads. Kind of a crossface, trying to just work Porter over here. He's going to get back points. That should be 3, I think. Making it 9-2, Zach Rigg in full control. 50 seconds left to go in the first. Porter, the sophomore. There's another country boy. Rigg's got that locked up. That should be close to being a pin. He got it.
Zach Rigg gets the pin for the Falcons.
He's got that locked up pretty good. Just kind of a country boy to half Nelson. You can see Porter is flat right there. Pin for Zach Rigg. Well, Stanley, the heavyweight here from Armstrong, seems to be a pretty popular guy, Jay.
He's got a fan section up there, doesn't he?
Does.
Eric Aboje for Cooper, Stanley Dokken for Armstrong. Couple of pretty big guys. Dokken is 11-10 on the year, and Eric is at 5-3.
Those are some big fellas out there right now.
Dokken, a very improved wrestler according to their coaches, also played football for the Falcons.
There are some guys in the upper deck with his name painted on their chest, which is kind of interesting. Dokken gets put to his back here.
Aboje's got a lot of weight on. He's going to have trouble getting out of this one. Dokken in some difficulty.
We got 2 for a takedown for Aboje here. Dokken squirms out of it. No back points. Ref says no, he didn't quite have him tilted enough. Didn't quite break the plane.
I think he briefly did, but not enough of a count. I mean, it was just very brief. I'll give Dokken some credit there. A lot of times when you see heavyweight go down in that spot, it's very difficult to get out of.
Oh, and he gets a roll on Aboje. Now he's got him in trouble. Aboje trying to squirm through that. Dokken doesn't quite have a traditional Granby roll there. He's just kind of got him caught a little bit. But he gets a reversal and 3 near fall. He'll take a 5-2 lead. Aboje was so close to getting near fall himself, but not able to do it. Now he finds himself down 5-2.
Well, I'll give credit there for Aboje, not just packing it in when he got in trouble too. So, an eventful. I like to see it. Guys going after each other a little bit here in the heavyweight match.
Well, a pretty entertaining first period as it comes to an end. Both guys kind of on their back there for a little bit. I don't know how I'd feel about that with a bunch of guys shirtless with my name written on their chest, but now they're kind of out of line. But the T is, the S is behind the T, but hey, Stanley's got a fan club, so there we go. Now they're in order. Aboje, though, also a big wrestler. He's starting the opposition, and you and I have seen that before, Jay. Sometimes those guys can just muscle each other over. Aboje flattens out Dokken here. He's got him flat on the mat. Not really trying for a pinning combination. Aboje's going to probably work for something. The ref's going to stop it, give a caution.
And I gave a point as Aboje grabbed the headgear. So a point awarded to Dokken.
Yeah, now Cooper coach is telling him to let Dokken go. Let's see if he does it. And decides not to. He wants to start down, see if he can work for something. Aboje trying to chop Dokken down. Dokken a little more experienced than Aboje, but when you have that much of a fella on top of you weight-wise, you're in trouble. There's the roll that Dokken tried before and got it. Now he's got Aboje in trouble. Sets himself up real nice here, close to getting a pin. Aboje trying to fight this off. He's got to do it for another 50 seconds. We'll squirm out of there.
Dokken trying to end it in style here for the Falcons. Oops, the referee gets hit by Aboje's hand.
Dokken really wants to end this on a high note for the Falcons. Came storming back in this dual meet, close to getting a pin. There it is. The exclamation point for the Falcons.
So the Robbinsdale Rumble trophy will stay with the guys in red, white, and blue as Armstrong for the 4th straight year will take the Rumble title as they come storming back. Cooper wins the first 4. And the next 9 go Armstrong's way, with most of those coming by fall. So they will win it by a score of 51-27. John, an exciting night here. I mean, it was electric in here. A lot of fans, a lot of student fans too, which you like to see.
The gym is pretty full here. I love it. And what a great, as we talked about a few times tonight, what a great venue to have this back in a gymnasium where wrestling was so strong for so many years. And an entertaining and exciting match at times, too, between these two teams.
So it is the Falcons coming out on top here in this Battle of District 281, teams 51-27. We will come back here to wrap things up in just a moment. High school wrestling action, the Robbinsdale Rumble on 12 Sports.
Here. Michael Adams. Here. Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
That's low. That's low. Look, he's blushing.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look! Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
The Robbinsdale Rumble trophy stays with the Falcons from Armstrong tonight as they storm back after Cooper had started out strong and win at 51-27. We're joined by a couple of the captains for Armstrong, starting with Eddie Gonzalez. And boy, this was an exciting night. This gym was as loud as I've heard it. How much fun was it to be out here in the Rumble tonight?
It was very fun, very fun. I mean, the team had the blast and stuff.
Cooper came out pretty strong, and I don't think it was all that unexpected that they were going to win some early, but did you guys feel pretty good about your possibilities to come back and take it to them late?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we in the wrestling room, we kind of were prepared for this. We were mentally getting ready for this meet, and I feel like our team deserved it.
How about overall this season? How are you feeling about the progress your team's made up to this point?
Oh, we're improving a ton. I mean, the heavier weights, we're getting more pins, and yeah.
All right, congratulations on the win here. Have fun the rest of the season too.
Thank you.
And Zach Rigg, you guys not only got a lot of wins late, but coming out and getting pins. Was that something that you guys kind of talked about amongst yourself? Like, let's not just win, let's get 6?
Absolutely, yeah. All week up to this, we've been stressing getting 6 points. Get 6 points every time you can, because then you can make up for those open weights and matches that aren't so close.
We talked about, the atmosphere in here was tremendous, and I think that helps get guys ready for sections and maybe state as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think this is the first time I've ever seen guys with body paint at a wrestling match, but that was pretty interesting. That got us all amped up, and the crowd noise definitely helps.
Even though, like we said, wasn't entirely unexpected the way it started, did it kind of shock you guys a little bit to see the score as lopsided as it was for a little bit there?
Yeah, it did. In the beginning, when those younger guys, they were getting stuck, and we've seen that quite a bit from them this year. We're trying to work on that, but towards the meat of the lineup and towards the end, we've been doing pretty well, so we knew we were going to come up to it.
You guys feel like as you head down the stretch of the season, things are starting to look pretty good overall for the group?
Yeah, definitely. We got some hard matches, some tough competition, but that's exactly what we need. We're used to it, so we'll be ready.
How about for you personally? You got a pretty good shot at getting to state and making some noise, do you feel like?
I'm hoping so. I got to take section every match at a time. Can't get ahead of myself, but I'm really hoping I can do something well this year.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Good luck and the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, Zach Rigg, Eddie Gonzalez helping Armstrong to a win here tonight. They now lead this Robbinsdale Rumble series since it became known as the Rumble 6-3, and this is their 4th straight win in the series. We hope you enjoyed tonight's match. Again, it was a great crowd on hand here at Robbinsdale Middle School. Your final again is Armstrong 51, Cooper 27. Good night from Robbinsdale.